Your number one hype gal here, and welcome to the weekly warm-up, your weekly dose to feel a little more confident and a lot more human. I'm Jess McDowell, and each week I'll share life updates, mindset shifts, product faves, the little things that help me stay grounded, energized, and moving and grooving. Whether you're heading out for a jog, sipping your morning coffee, or just need a midweek pick-me-up, this is your warm-up for living a real balanced life. So take a breath, shake it out, and let's dive in. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the weekly warm-up podcast. Today is a very special episode. It is episode 20, and to me, I felt like that was a milestone, or this is a milestone. And I wanted to celebrate my 20th episode with y'all by doing a mashup of all episodes from 1 to 19. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the nostalgic moments of the weekly warm-up podcast. I love you all, and let's dive in. But if you are having a rut running, I have gone through running ruts and they are the worst. And also, too, it could be a blessing. So I talked about when I start to get into a rut, it typically means I'm getting bored. I said that typically means I'm getting bored, I'm not setting performance goals, and truly need a break. So we're going to break those down. Getting bored, meaning you're either running in the same place, you're running the same route, you're running the same mileage, your playlists are boring and they suck and you need to update them. You're probably not feeling like you're jazzing up your outfits or feeling good. That's true. It is a real thing, just like how if you get bored at doing anything else in life. So you need to get spicy in the bedroom with running, okay? That means make a badass playlist. Again, I need to figure out if I can cuss on here. Make a BA playlist, switch it up, find some new music, figure out how you can find new music that you like and what gets you going. Another thing with the route, switch up your route. If you can, maybe switch up the time of day if possible, or figure out your distance, maybe work on something with your performance. Maybe it's your performance and your outputs. You need to start working on maybe setting some more goals and achieving more goals. Want to sign up for a race, or maybe you want to focus on a PR that you want to make, a distance, working on your endurance. You could even switch it up and start doing intervals. Figuring out, like for me, sometimes because I am a long distance runner, I get bored of always just running long distances. So switching up and having an intervals day, adding more intervals in, or short runs with, more bursts of energy, more bursts of endurance. Last but not least is maybe your body's just telling you you just need to take a break. That doesn't mean forever. That doesn't mean for months, but maybe a week or two. Maybe your body is saying, pump the brakes. I love running, but I just need a moment. Same thing when it happens with what you're eating, things that you're doing in your life socially, whatever it is, emotionally, mentally. Sometimes your body just needs to kind of like chill out for a second. And then when you pick back up on it again in a week or two, damn, I miss it. And the other last week, was it last week? I have to check the email. Last week, I get on Raya. I get this warning. So on Raya, you can't screenshot or screen record. Can't do that because it's all about privacy. And if you get caught doing it a certain amount of times, you basically get kicked off and you can never go back on. So anyways, I open the app, I get the warning because I have screenshot like a couple times. We all have, okay? It is what it is. You ask for forgiveness and they'll give it to you once or twice. So I open the app and it says to me, the warning, basically, you can't do this, you violated and it shows you how many screen recordings. And I think it was at like 5. I didn't do anything. What? So I exit out and I open it back up and it does it again. It's screenshot or whatever, screen record 6. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. So I exit out and I open it back up again, 7, and then it goes to 8. And I finally am like screaming and I realize that my phone was on screen record because I was screen recording something that I was filming for a brand on an app and I forgot to exit it out. I know that's how ADD I am. I'm going from one thing to another. Work, play, work, play. Let's get some content done so you get paid, and then let's go and get a booty call. Anyways, but I finally realized it and I was just thinking to myself, oh shit, this is it. I'm going to get kicked off. I'm going to get kicked off. So I immediately email Raya I'm going to pull it up. I emailed Raya and I said, "Hi, I keep getting an alert that I'm recording, but I'm not. And every time I close the app and reopen it, I'm getting a message that it is telling me I'm at screenshot 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row. I don't know what to do. I truly wasn't doing anything." Obviously, I realized it, but to the point. So they finally get back to me, then like within the day or two, and they said, "Thanks for reaching out about this. As you know, we don't allow screenshots or screen recording while using Raya to protect our members' privacy. However, we have heard from some members that Raya thinks you are screen recording while the app is open in the background and you are projecting your screen or running certain streaming apps. I have made sure to mark in our system that this was a mistake and your account will not be flagged. To avoid this in the future, make sure to close Raya completely when you're not in use." So thank God, one, it's not me. I mean, I'm not the only one. And two, I'm going to help all the girls and gals close your Raya app, especially if you're going to screen record at all, because you won't even know it, but you're getting dinged. So listen up. When you're running and you get a new pair of sneakers for the first like no, not 2 months, the first like month and a half, it is so good. It is so good. You're flying. You feel free. You feel light. You're bouncing. Your body feels good. You're not feeling as tiresome and sore after a run because you have that shock support, you have that cushion support, your laces, the fabric isn't fully stretched out, and that tends to happen. It's just natural with anything else. The wear and tear. That feeling right there is euphoric for me, at least. The second you start to run and you feel like you're getting shin splints, you feel like your legs are getting heavier. Your knees are starting to get sore and you're not gliding. Let me say this too. There is a difference between your shoes are starting to wear and you being burnt out or tired from training. Trust me. Trust me. So when you start feeling that, flip your shoe over. For my watchers, I'm going to get a shoe. This is a shoe that I ran almost 4 half marathons, 3 half marathons on. But if you look and you start to see, just as if your tires, you need new tires, you'll start to see the wear and tear, especially around the heel and midsole area where it's not going to grip as much and it's flatter. No bueno. For a road shoe, it's going to be a little different because it's not going to have as much grip, because the road shoe, with especially in a carbon plated, it's going to have, it's almost like a friction. Think about like a football player when they're wearing gloves. It grips a different way. So on a road shoe, you're really going to want to notice in, again, the midsole area, and then you'll notice in your heel support just with the cushioning. These are ready to rock and roll. The wear and tear on the side, you're not seeing lines. You're not seeing it be flat in the areas that count. Okay, now I need to go wash my hands. Go invest in your performance, in your recovery, and your overall health, especially if it's something that you are very much into and it has become a hobby, it has become a lifestyle, is mentally and physically bettering you. Invest in the right gear, because you are going to enjoy yourself so much more, and then you'll keep showing up. Very important, because this is where we're going to get a little vulnerable, but I'm also going to be honest about areas in my life that I made mistakes. And that is talking about I was the problem, lessons I had to learn the hard way. So first of all, my entire life have dealt with abandonment issues from my dad because of him having alcoholism and feeling as if he never was the father figure that I had to feel like I was growing up, and I was taking care of him more than he took care of me, the false promises, the not showing up. Until about 29, 30 years old, I really did not have a hold or control on my abandonment issues and the triggers that would spark the abandonment issues. So for me,
one area that I had to learn the hard way was the anxiety that would come up from it in relationships and how I would handle them. I had horrible boundaries, which is crazy to think about that I'm so independent and I love my solo time, but was really bad about doing my own thing out of fear of abandonment. That took a lot of self searching and finding therapy with myself to realize that not everyone's going to be that way. There's a reason why everyone reacts to certain things in life. For me, once I was able to really dive deep and realize what it was, I cannot tell you how amazing the growth has been, but also to the pivot in my mind and my mindset of not only how I handle relationships that, moving forward, but also to even in the dating world of when I am very aware this person is is not striking me the right way. There's something about him in my gut that is making me feel uncomfortable. If you're just in the dating scene, you don't, it's not worth it in general. This is a fun one. More worried about impressing others than focusing on my relationship. And I think that obviously comes with maturity too. And then the rise of social media, but being more focused on sharing on social media. I remember I would get so frustrated if my ex didn't post me on social media or didn't like every picture or comment every picture, which sounds insane, and it is. As we all know, there is the protein shakers. I have a shaker that is designed to where it doesn't have to have the metal ball in it. It's designed, it's a little twisted, so you put the water or liquid in first, and then you put the protein on top. I have used this for a hot minute. It's fine. You close it, you shake it up. Well, I had a lovely day, fantastic day, was very productive, la-di-da-di-da, cleaned, did all the laundry. I not only switched out so new sheets, which that means if you're doing new sheets, that's a full body shower, you're lubed up, you've done your skincare, your hair, like you're feeling good, you're ready to cozy into these sheets. Mind you, I even washed my duvet cover. So we are ready to just have one of those nights where you burrow into your bed and your clean sheets. I had made myself my little protein shake, was FaceTiming my mom per usual because I love talking to that woman. And I'm in bed. I had already shaken it, but I opened it up and there was still little like particles left. So I was like, okay, I need to shake it a little longer. That's fine. Close it up. And I didn't realize I didn't hear the snap because I was in the middle of a conversation and I shook it. And when I say it went everywhere, y'all, it went everywhere. I cannot make this up if I even tried. It was so bad to where I looked at my mom on FaceTime and I just said to her, I have to go. It's really bad. I have to go. I couldn't talk about it for a week just because I was still suffering PTSD. It not only went all over my freshly washed duvet, somehow it got onto the sheets underneath, the pillowcases. Oh, no, it gets worse. My headboard, all over the back of my wall, on my wall, white walls, bedside table, my bedside sconce, what is it called? The lights that are on the wall, window and blinds, the baseboards. I'm talking anywhere and everywhere that liquid could touch, it did. And this is chocolate protein. I didn't even know where to start. I just thought to myself, let's get the sheets and the duvet over with because it's 6 o'clock at night and I don't even know if I'm going to go to bed tonight because what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Drama. But that's how I felt. I peeled off the duvet cover and realized it was also on my down comforter. So then I had to wash that. I throw that in the washer. And because you're peeling it off, of course, some of it got onto my tile, which means I have to clean it up the tile. Once I get the sheets off to wash too, luckily I have a spare, so I was able to throw that on at least. My headboard, because it's cloth, so I wanted to get that off. I had to pull my bed out from my wall to go behind to take off what was look like protein murder. on my wall. It had dripped down even. It was so bad to where when I wiped it off, it still looked like there was chocolate on the wall and I had to clean it again. Because it was becoming nighttime, I didn't see every spot that it hit. So I thought I had cleaned up everything. And the next morning when I woke up, I couldn't believe it. No, 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 no. I've got to do round two. I had to do round two. Mind you, just the other day, I think it was last week. I go to lay in bed and lo and behold, I kind of look over and there is still a spot of dry protein milkshake, whatever you want to call it, on one of my blinds. I couldn't believe it. It was as if it was haunting me. I think I've gotten it all by now. I will never shake protein in and around my bed or my bedroom ever again. Now, mind you, this isn't the first time I've ever done it. I have done it in my kitchen where it's exploded, but this was hell. And it ended up working out that everything was washed and cleaned in time for me to get my Z's. But at one point, I was laying in my bed with just my weighted blanket on and all my pillowcases off. So no pillowcases on my pillows. And it was just, the sheets. And I was thinking to myself, this is the end. Oh, anyways. Yeah. Protein murder.
Oh, Emily Post.
Yeah.
Yes.
Emily Post.
Yes.
So I have Emily Post up right
Yes,
now.
you do. All the girls got a book.
Yeah. So what is it with Emily Post?
So when you were growing up, one of the things that we did is have dinner every night sitting down at the table. A lot of families didn't do that. So we would sit down and have a dinner together. Sometimes the manners were less than appropriate. I had an Emily Post. I have no idea why I had an Emily Post. Have no idea. But she was the etiquette queen. And so what I would do if there was ever a question of how to handle yourself at the dinner table, or if you did something that you shouldn't do, we would pull out Emily Post and see what Emily had to say about it. And we would read at the table and learn manners.
When you just burped.
And yes,
As I just burped.
as you just burped.
I'm
And
gonna
so
grab it.
we would,
talking.
we would talk about what do you do if you're going to burp at the table? What would Emily do?
Yep. What would Emily do?
And where, napkins, how do you hold a napkin? Where do you put the napkin on your lap? Or just any question. How do you eat oysters or, anything?
So this is the original
Right.
right here that she gave me.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are watching. Ooh, I need to dust.
I actually got one for each of your friends.
Yeah, the 5 girls when we graduated. Do you want to read what's inside?
Oh, I can't remember. Dear Jessica.
What year is this?
This was October of 2005. So you were graduating from high school.
No, I wasn't. 2005. That had to have been. That's elementary.
Elementary. Oh, was it?
Yeah, I graduated high school in 2008.
Oh,
So it was elementary.
Elementary.
Wow.
I guess, yeah. I guess at grade 8.
Yeah, because you did. Cotillion.
Yes, because that's right. Dear Jessica, may this book be a reminder of some lessons learned throughout your childhood, and may it also offer you guidance to achieve your future goals and dreams.
Aww.
And then, of course, I wrote my favorite.
Oh my gosh, but okay, so there is one, what is this called? A quote?
This was when you turned 16. Happy sweet 16th birthday, baby girl.
So, yeah, but I didn't graduate. So then I was in
Your mama.
10th grade.
10th grade, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's interesting. Or maybe I gave this to you, and then I gave the other girls when they graduated a copy of it. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. So John Paul Meyer, he had a saying that I always said to you, and it is, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically pursue must inevitably come to pass.
Hell yeah.
And that is
kind of what's happening.
Yep, exactly.
And is happening.
And I live by that.
Love your mama.
Your mama. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So anyways, Emily Post.
Yep. It has everything you ever want to know about being a proper...
And it's got some stains on it.
Yeah,
it's probably when I've been eating food.
Yeah, probably in bed.
Oh, whoa. we won't go there. But literally anything you can think about. I love it. And all the girls that you gave to, well, this is Emily, but the girls that you gave the book to still have it.
Do they?
And think about it. Yeah,
Aw.
it's so always funny. But
Yeah, whenever they came over for dinner, we would get the book out. If there was a question, we would. So
yeah, fun.
yeah.
Love that.
It's a great book for young
Yeah.
people. Jess was born 9 pounds 6 ounces. Well, wait, no. So when she was born, she took a very long time,
30 hours.
36 to be 36.
Oh.
And because the water had broke quite a bit, like way 36 hours, they were concerned about you having meningitis. So after you're born, and even though you were this healthy, huge 9.6 pound baby with hair that should have been given to a 3-month-old, they said that you needed to stay there. And so, okay. So you were in the NIC unit with all these tiny preemies. And so here's this 3-month-old, basically, and you would be, it was very, very embarrassing because I would feed you and you'd be sucking down this milk out of a bottle. And they were trying to actually feed these preemies like even a half an ounce just to get some nutrition. And you're like honking it down and burping. And it was very embarrassing.
Did I think of this, or did you not one time, like, someone asked, like, oh, what's your kid? And you didn't answer?
So this was later. So we would be out shopping or whatever. And because you were a swimmer, you were always in the water. That was one of the,
Oh, yeah.
You had no hair.
Explain that though.
Okay, so
We had
a pool.
Yeah.
In Mississauga, Ontario, where we lived at the time.
In Florida.
And in Florida. This was more in Mississauga, was where it happened.
So Canada.
No, you're right. Canada.
The average human.
Toronto area, Canada.
It's a suburbia.
Right. So you would be swimming, but because you swam so much, your hair would break off. So you were very blonde and no hair. And so you looked like a boy.
I'm a natural brunette, by the way. I want that to be known.
Okay. Anyways, yes. No hair. I dressed you in vibrant colors. So
I'm very appreciative of that, by the way, that you gave me some good style.
We were out shopping and no hair, blonde, very colorful outfit. And they would always ask, what's his name? They'd always ask, what is his name? So I got tired of saying, oh, no, it's a girl. Her name's Jessica. So I just decided to give into it and say, oh, his name is Roger. So she was Roger when we were out and about.
Honestly, I kind of liked it. I would have taken Roger as a girl name. One of my favorite pictures, wearing that like Chanel piece or whatever or like the perfume piece or whatever you call, when I was holding the cow.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That looked...
Yeah, that's classy.
That's classy. That's classy.
Do you remember when you wanted to change how you spelt your name?
Yeah, well, so did all my girlfriends and I.
Yeah.
I used to spell my name in different ways.
Jesika.
Jessica. Ika. Yeah. So that was fun. But that was only because Katie went by KT, so K and T. And then Jamie went by JME. Like Jamie.
Oh,
and then
I didn't know that.
Eston went by S10. And then I was Jessica. Because Jessica, how can you?
S10. I did not know all of that. Yeah. That's
well, maybe we can segue into that. So
okay. I'll now call Katie KT.
Yeah, KT.
That's what I'm going to do.
Why don't I don't know if Kate watches this. If she should be.
Maybe she should be. She should watch.
Well, she'll probably watch this one because she's going to support you about it.
Yeah.
But she should be watching this to support me in general. But we'll talk about that another day. So we'll see if she is. But anywho,
ouch.
We can talk. Yeah, ouch. For sure.
She watches you all the time, she says.
Oh, no, but I don't know if she's watched my podcast.
No, she hasn't yet. She did say that.
You just called her out.
I'm sorry, KT.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. That's amazing. Hey.
But she was planning on it.
Production.
But she was
where's
planning on
my PR
it.
team? We have that. We have that. Katie, we have that. You're dead.
One area I can really toot my own horn, is keeping my life decluttered and organized. I have no problem throwing things out or getting rid of things, donating things, except for sneakers, running sneakers. That's extremely difficult for me. I have been doing a sneaker and activewear drive. This is my third year doing it for Souls for Souls. Basically, you can collect sneakers, donated sneakers, to give to Souls for Souls for women and children to have for school or to have job interviews and to feel confident that they have a pair of shoes to use or have. I've already donated 10 pairs. That's not in total of everything I've collected, but myself, I've already donated 10 pairs, and there is definitely more that I could donate. I think about the miles that I've been with these shoes, which is but I think about the races I've done, the miles I've ran, just the time I've had with the shoes, and it's very difficult. Physically taking out 10 pairs of my shoes that I know needed to go, dropping them in the donation box that I have was honestly monumental. It has been so difficult for me to get rid of sneakers. And to do that, I am just beyond proud of myself. Hey, baby steps. But other than that, anything else in my life, I have no problem getting rid of. I think it's just so important for everyone to take the time to organize and declutter their life. We are obsessed with being a consumer, fast fashion, access to purchasing essentially anything your mind thinks of. We have also now rewired our brains to hoard and to get things and hold on to things. And most of the time, half of this shit you don't even need. More than half of this shit you don't even need. Not getting rid of it, thinking you might need it later, but you haven't used it in over 6 months to a year. I find that if you are not organized and you are in a cluttered space, doesn't matter where it is, you're less likely to be motivated to succeed at what you're really wanting to do. You're less likely to have good energy. Plan it out to where you have a little non-alcoholic beverage, a little glass of wine, whatever you fancy. Turn some, music on, or turn my podcast on. Watch my podcast. Get yourself into a situation where you can block off a couple hours, or even if it's a half hour to an hour, and declutter your space in your life. Come back to me and tell me how you feel. I guarantee you will feel more confident, more driven, more motivated, more focused. My algorithm landed me on Teddy Bridgewater and the recent high school Florida football team that he volunteered on and the suspension that he received. I wanted to shed light on this topic because it shows how backwards our world is, but also how anytime anyone wants to do good for humanity, somehow that gets ruined. And that doesn't make sense to me. Teddy Bridgewater, whoa, almost just had to buy a new laptop. Recently retired in 2024, I believe. He decided to start volunteering for a high school football team, and it just so happened to be in Miami. The school he started to voluntarily coach football was Miami Northwestern, which is also his alma mater, where he went to high school. Before his final NFL season, he led this team to the 2024 state championship. Pretty amazing, but not even that. He is a volunteer coach. I want to reiterate that, not a paid employee, that was helping the players basically have food, make sure that they are clothed, any type of ride share. He's not paying them, and he's also not providing them with inappropriate gifts. He's helping to ensure that they are well taken care of and that they show up to practice and that they don't turn into a statistic but succeed. Well, lo and behold, leave it to society to come on in and ruin that. The Florida High School Athletic Association is investigating the allegations, which could lead to further punishment for Bridgewater or the program. Basically, Teddy was suspended by the Florida High School Athletic Association because he was giving gifts to students as a volunteer. not an employee. There is no rule regarding a volunteer helping out students. You're telling me that you're going to potentially punish these student athletes and potentially not enable them to advance in the sport that they love, but also advance in their career over a volunteer coach helping them with meals and ride shares to get to and from practice. It truly screams that there are people that just don't care about students or about helping each other. I pray for those boys on that team and for Teddy Bridgewater and the other coaches involved with this football team that it goes so well in their favor that people potentially lose their jobs with Florida High School Athletic Association. I have to read it because I keep forgetting who they are because that's how pissed I am. No one should ever have to go through anything like this for being a volunteer. That's what really makes me so disappointed to see that this could potentially turn into something way bigger than it ever should have been.
And it's crazy because we all grieve differently. So my mom and dad was like high school sweethearts. Oh, she only been with him.
Gosh, it's not like that anymore, man.
It's not,
No.
you know? So it's like, okay, so we think about this grown woman that lost her life partner. And then you got my brother and sister who I think was in high school at the time, or like, no, they was in college. Like they was young,
So
you
young.
know, still. You know, so it's got, I think I was 27, 10 years ago, 27, 28. Yeah. So 27, 28. Totally different mindset then than how I am now.
Yeah.
And my brother and sister was 19 and 20 when that happened. Now I'm doing the math. We all grieved a little different.
Yeah. Well, of course, and
Yeah,
that's natural.
yeah.
I mean, because your brain chemistry is a lot different when you're in college versus how you even said how you grieved back then till how you grieve now. It's a lot different.
Exactly. But then, you know, just to go ahead and like tie it up, it's like, yo, you're not alone. You know,
You're not.
And there's
Ever.
always a community, you know, anybody that watches, you can always reach out to me if you ever lose anybody.
Yeah.
And sometimes talking about it is what helps you get through it.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to talk about it and just release it. You know, talk about it and release it. And then
Never
from
get to
there,
yourself, never allow yourself to get to a point where you have isolated so much where you think something bad is going to happen.
yeah, because I isolated. My close friends, I stopped talking to them. I stopped talking to my sister, who was very close. They were communicating to check on me. Did you speak to so-and-so? Did you speak to so-and-so? I found my way. I hit rock bottom. I found my way. And then now I'm 10 times better and able to feel the go ahead and come out into community and help other people go ahead and get through this.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to get into more of, building confidence and, taking risks. So kind of,
Fun.
yeah, I want you to dive into a little bit of that, of just how you like to give advice for building confidence and taking risk. And then kind of talk about, so I don't believe in an ultimate goal in life, meaning that like as a human being that you're striving for one ultimate goal. I always call it like 5 pillars, that you're kind of going
Yeah.
after 5 major things that all kind of combine together.
Right.
So without maybe you telling secrets or things that you're working on that, we all like to work in private,
Yes.
kind of talk about that with, confidence and risk taking.
Take the risk. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but every major risk I have taken has definitely put me forward.
Yeah.
I haven't ever taken a risk was like, oh shit, fuck, ooh, ever.
Yeah.
You're
trying to find wood?
You're trying to find wood.
Shit.
Right.
My bad.
It's all right.
I don't know.
Put it out there. We got it. Put it out there.
You need to go run really quickly. There's a table right over there. Do you need to go do it?
That table's not wood.
Oh, fucking fakes.
But I mean,
wait, you don't have your
Palo Santo?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have it in the bag, but listen, I'm
Okay.
so strong with it. I'm so strong with it. Even knocking on wood, I don't even need it. Let's talk about this. The risk of me transferring to Atlanta and going to college down there.
Yeah.
That's like the big first time when, okay, I knew 1 or 2 people that went to the school, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, I took the risk and went away and I stayed on campus. I had a roommate. I never had a roommate ever. I never shared a room ever. I actually had a great roommate and it was a great experience. And then I moved off campus. And then if I didn't take that risk and go down to Clark Atlanta University, I would have never had that dope ass experience,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
Taking the risk, moving down to Florida. I think I told my mom like 3 weeks. I'm like, to my parents, like, yeah, I'm moving down to Miami in 3 weeks.
The whole end of the spectrum in the United States.
Right.
Like New York, Miami,
Moving out
or Florida.
and
I'm just over
yeah,
it. I
Mom,
can't do the winters.
I can't do the snow. I like the cold, just can't do the snow. I
It's
hate the
yeah.
snow. It's gross.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna work? Where are you gonna stay? This and the third." I was like, "I got this. I got this. I don't know about that, but I'm gonna figure it out."
Mhm.
And then my father was always been the one that was like, "Hey, look, the door's always open if you need to come back."
That's amazing though.
Yeah, you know, doors always open if you need to come back. I did not go back. 15 years later, I'm still good.
Yeah.
And the life that I have built in the past 15 years have been amazing. I know definitely would not have been the same in New York. Maybe wouldn't have been in New York. I don't know. But I was planning to either go to LA or Miami, and Miami won the battle. So it's kind of like, I mean, again, everything that I have risked and got me here, those are like the two big ones. And it's always been great and good. Everything's always progressing.
It's been crazy, like I said, I had a friend who was Miss New Hampshire in the Miss America organization about a year or two ago. Throughout like my childhood, people always said to me, I think you would be a good fit for the Miss New Hampshire program. And I was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really think it was time. And when I do something, I really like full throttle want to press the gas, be fully in it. And when I was in high school, that wasn't it. Over time, I went to college and then I started to do radio and I connected with the Miss New Hampshire and she was like, you should do it. And at the time I had some extra time. So we sat down and we had the conversation and, she kind of guided me through the process. So I competed under the Miss America organization first. I
Wow.
won my first local title. That was back in, oh my gosh, October of last year. And that was wild because before that, I competed in one other local. And you have to win a local to compete in Miss America or the Miss America organization. So I was first runner up at my first local, won my second local, and then went to Miss New Hampshire and placed third runner up for my first try, which I was very excited about that because I just wanted to feel like accomplished.
Totally.
And then when I didn't win that, I kind of still had the bug a little. And that the Miss New Hampshire volunteer competition was shortly after Miss New Hampshire. So I said, you know what? I'm in the groove. I can use the same wardrobe. We'll just try again.
Yeah.
And I won Miss New Hampshire Volunteer, which was incredible. So
Full
from
circle.
there, it's really cool too, because the Miss New Hampshire or the Miss Volunteer America program rather is so new that they'll be crowning the fifth Miss New Hampshire or the fifth Miss Volunteer America ever.
Wow.
In June, and it will be my fifth pageant ever when I go. So maybe that's a sign. I guess we'll see.
I know that like we don't like I mean I like Taylor Swift. I'm not a Swiftie, but like this kind of gives like little like Easter egg kind of thing, like 5 and 5. We like it.
Yeah. So, I mean, my fingers are crossed, and I'm going to take every bit of my year to say yes to everything, take every opportunity, and also just use this platform the best that I can to be in rooms that maybe I couldn't be in as just a, Sophie Sargent without a title.
Yeah.
And this year, I have a lot of goals right now. We're really focused on fundraising for St. Jude. There's a walk in Boston Common on the 27th, and I'm looking forward to that. That will be so much fun. I mean, and as you know, the St. Jude Research Hospital is just a great cause because all of these kids and families are going through so much. So the fact that families don't have to pay a dime or worry about payments for care or hotels or food is just like so amazing. And then after that, I'll have a little bit of time before we get into Salvation Army work. But my goal really throughout is to promote my Serve initiative as well, which is like our community service cause. My career is the most scattered thing ever. People look at my socials and they're like, how do you do it? But it's so fulfilling and it's what I love to do that it doesn't feel like that. So
Yeah.
I started doing TV when I was a junior in college. COVID had just happened and I came out of the pandemic saying, everybody was stuck in their houses. Like, how can I take advantage of that to get with the right people in the right rooms. And for me, that was just cold DMing people. I started DMing magazines in Boston, news outlets, and I was like, I'm a college student. I will give you all of my free time, right? Like, I have all the free time. Let's use it. So I said, I'll give you my time. Like, what can I do? And there was a magazine that said, you know what? We host events. Why don't you come and like intern and help out? So I said, bet, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that was really a pivotal moment for me because it was out of the pandemic. Everyone was really happy to be out, but it was also where I met the first TV station that I ever started working for, which is Dirty Water TV on New England Sports Network. And from there, it was meant to just happen that way because from there, I got that opportunity. They threw me into a shoot a couple months later with no training. I just said, I'll try it. And like I was kind of saying before, if I fail, it's okay because that is part of building the blocks.
Yeah.
So I went and did that. And from there, I continued that until I graduated. And that's when I started radio right before. And I started on a morning show in New Hampshire. And that was also an incredible opportunity, too, because I had no experience. And they were like, sure, let's see what happens. And so that is the benefit, I guess, of being young and like jumping on things because people will see your potential if you really like try and you show that motivation. So I started on that show. And then from there, it kind of just was like a domino effect. It turned into another radio station and then another TV show. And before all of that, I was doing modeling and some acting as well, which has carried through my career. I'm signed in Boston and in New York City now, which has been a dream of mine for so long. So that, like, my day to day is so different because everything I do is freelance. So some days I wake up and, you know, I go on air and then I go to Boston and film for Let's Meet Boston, which is the newer show I'm doing. And we go around the city and try all these really cool spots or see events. Like, or some days I'll wake up and I'm doing biohack, right? Which is like social media content, researching what's going on in the health world and relaying that information to people in an easy and accessible way so that everybody can have that non-biased experience of learning about health and wellness. So there's really has not been a linear path for me, but I've embraced every second of it because number one, that's the fun of it when you're young. But number two, in media, there really is no linear path. People will try to tell you, oh, you can intern here and here, but it's like you truly never know where you're going to end up. So I just was a yes girl for so long, and it's really opened a lot of doors.
There's retinols that, yes, you can get a burn from because you are probably using it too often and your skin is not used to it. Pretty much all retinols should be good and should be helpful. Retinol is like one of the most studied skincare that there is. It has been studied since like the 60s. It has been around forever and it is proven that it is anti-aging. And there's retinoid, retinol, like there's so many different types now, but they're all beneficial.
What's the difference?
It's little tiny differences. Some just work better for others. And really, truly, you have to just find one that works for you. You know, there's some of them that you cannot do every single day. You have to do it once or twice a week and then work your way up. You know, I went through that. I had to slow down a little bit. Chances are is that you were just doing it a little bit too much, or you were using too much product on the face, or you weren't using a barrier. I always say do the sandwich method to start. So that means moisturizer, retinol, moisturizer, always.
Oh, interesting. Good to know. So you
Yes.
don't want the retinol to touch your skin first.
No.
That's probably what I did.
No, if it's, the correct products. Medical grade skincare is also phenomenal. You are going to get an amazing result. It is about working, with somebody, finding somebody that knows your skin type, is going to work with you as to what works best for you.
Yeah.
That's
And medical grade, just to clear that up for any confusion, medical grade is when you were actually seeing a dermatologist and they're
Mhm.
prescribing you.
Yeah, so it's either dermatologist, you would get it at med spas, but it's a product that you just can't go into like a CVS and buy.
So I could get it at Elite Styles.
Yes, we
Okay.
carry Zeo. Zeo
Mhm.
is medical grade. It is one of the harsher lines, meaning that it is going to create a reaction before it fixes the problem. So it is something that is going to create a dramatic results,
Mhm.
but it is something that you need to stick with to get that dramatic result. So it is patience, but it is so worth it.
Okay, so let's go into more of popular procedures that are happening. I don't even think it's a procedure. I don't know what you want to
Mhm.
call it, but we can talk about, I call it JOLP, but GLP-1.
So GLP-1s, like tirzepatide, semaglutide, there's more even coming out. It is a medication that has been around forever. I mean,
Mm.
it has been used in diabetes for older than us. But
That's why, 'cause I don't ever like, most people don't think that. They think it's just like this new phenomenon.
right, exactly. So I think that, it is a phenomenal drug, and I think it has helped so many people in so many different ways. There is like new studies also coming out every day about helping alcoholics, it
Oh,
craving,
wow.
yeah, just curbing everything. And it has all these like hidden little benefits. I don't like when people use it as a crutch. I like when people use it to help them. The people that are still putting in the work and they've done everything that they could, they've done everything right. What is it? What is left that they could possibly do? I think this is so perfect for them. We've never had a drug like this that has actually made such a difference. It's gotten a little bit hazy in the industry because there is places that are giving people the full vials and having them dose themselves is leading to a lot of the dangerous and
Abuse.
effects that people are having because
Yeah,
it's not regulated, they're not checking. I always tell my patients and every single one of them, if you are losing more than 3 pounds a week, then you need to lower your dose because
yeah,
you are losing weight too quick and then going off the drug, you're gonna gain it all back. And
yeah,
then you're
and
gonna
then it
go on
becomes
the drug.
harder to lose.
Yeah, and then you're gonna go on the drug again, you're gonna lose the weight, and then you're gonna gain it all back, and people
Yeah.
get to this unhealthy cycle of doing that and just having it in their fridge for, weeks when they wanna lose 5 pounds in a week. That is
Mhm.
not the way that it should be done. You don't wanna be on this drug forever, you want to use it to lose the weight, and then you want to taper off of it, and you could be on a maintenance dose. I think it has been one of the greatest things to happen to the aesthetics industry for sure.
That's just such a cool thing to be able to be doing, and
Yeah.
how you can really just learn and elevate from that one opportunity as is. So talk about UMTV.
Yeah, so UMTV is the University of Miami's student-led broadcast station. So we have 8 shows in total, I believe, and they're all across different types of news. So I've only been on Pulse, which is our entertainment lifestyle show, the entire time I've been here because that's, like, the only one that's really my vibe, you know?
Mhm.
But we
Yeah.
also have, like, hard news shows. We have, like, Sports Desk, which is, like, our sports show. We have, like, Uni Miami, which is, like, the Spanish Spanglish show. So we have, like, all different kind of, like, niches. But, yeah, basically through that, you can do different positions, anything from production to also being on air. Every semester, we have, like, auditions, so you have to go in and actually, like, audition for the show, come prepared
Wow.
with stuff, and then you get casted. Every single year, I've been on a package segment. Do you know what that is? Okay,
Tell
yeah.
me.
So a package is, like, if you see on the news, they're, like, the pre-recorded stories kind of, like, where people are going out and,
Okay.
like, interviewing people and, like, doing a story like that, not an on-camera person. Like, actually, I don't
Got
mind
it.
being on camera, but, like, I would never wanna be, like, sitting at the desk anchoring.
Mhm.
So yeah, through
Yeah,
that, I've
it's for a
gotten to
different
do, like
breed.
exactly, exactly. I've gotten to do, like, such cool things from that. My first semester, I was on Dishing It Out, it was called, so I made 5 different video packages throughout the semester, and it was all about, like, different food in Miami, so I tried, like, 5 different restaurants in Miami and, like,
Ooh,
did something like that. The
I
next
love
segment
that.
I was on was yeah, it was called, like, The People's Pulse, so it was, like, just cool people in Miami. I interviewed 5 different people in Miami. I was on a fashion segment last semester where I, like, did went to 5 different fashion events, like Miami Mashup. I was on another semester where I got to go to 5 different, like, fun things to do in Miami. So not only am
Cool.
I got to, like, experience Miami through that, but you also get the experience of like setting up like interviews, like going to film it, editing it, all of that. And it's all again
Okay.
student run. So only students are producing these shows. We obviously have like faculty, but it's like you're essentially like on like a news cycle, which is such like a great experience.
I love that. And I like that they kind of push you all into it and say, not figure it out on your
Exactly.
own, but kind of, yeah, figure it out on your own. We'll guide you. But you're not only learning how to work together as a team, but then you're also learning how it would be in a real situation where you were actually packaging for a major media company or some sort of brand that's looking for that. So I love that. Are you
Exactly.
so when you're filming, does someone film for you? Because obviously then would there be someone that's wanting to get into more of like being on the camera side of things?
So with my segments, it's like I'm on camera and I'm filming and I'm editing. I'm like doing it all.
So it's just you.
Yeah, well, it depends. Like, so
Okay.
some segments in the past I've had partners. This segment I'm doing
Yeah.
this semester is just like me by myself. But we also have like the broadcast classes, like
Mhm.
really do like get you prepared for like
Yeah.
actual TV stations. So like I've been taking 2 production classes where, like, last semester we had to produce 5 packages, like, all completely by yourself, which is, like, what
Wow.
you would do if you get into, like, a news station.
Obviously, we've talked
Well,
about Unwell. We've talked about Dear Media
mhm,
before. Do you see yourself in an industry such as that? Do you see yourself more in it being TV, streaming? What else is there? Obviously, sports. You could even do it within music and entertainment. What
mhm.
areas really spark you most?
It's 100%, like, I really, like, found this in the past year, like, it's 100% like the music industry, like, I
Hmm.
my dream job, if I had to pick, is doing socials for, like, a DJ or, like, a festival, just something, like,
Okay,
in the EDM
cool.
space, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
really, like, trying to break into right now and, like, network and
Okay.
make connections. But, yeah, that's,
Hmm.
like, 100% my dream.
You should try to reach out to like Palm Tree Crew because they're so big here and they have
Yeah,
their hotel now. And then didn't they just open one in Las Vegas or is it the Hampton? I
yeah,
don't know where else they, yeah.
yeah, in
I mean, they're just
Vegas.
so big. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool. I could see that though. I mean, and that would be such a fun job too because you're traveling all the time. And then obviously because you love music so
exactly.
much. Yeah,
Yes,
that would
like,
be
that would be,
awesome.
like, ideal, so ideal, yeah.
Is there a specific DJ that you would want to work for, or would it be a music label company?
Honestly, I'm open to, like, any and all. I
Mhm.
don't really think I have, like, a preference if I'd rather work for, like, a festival, a music label, or, like, a specific DJ. But, yeah, I guess I
Yeah.
don't have a preference.
Yeah, we love that. That's gonna happen. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about how the yoga world has changed.
Mhm.
I feel like it's definitely, I mean, just like anything, it's boomed and there's a lot of different studios and places you can go to, but in general, how has it changed here in Miami?
It has changed astronomically. I feel like it
Yeah.
continues to change. Right now, there's, like, studios popping up in every corner, Pilates,
Every.
reformer, you name it, yoga,
Yeah.
heated, extra heated, no heat.
I
There's
wanna be a rotisserie chicken, truly. Like, I'll put my hair serums in, let those heat lamps do the work on my hair. I wanna roast and sweat and move.
no, it's changed so much. I remember when I was 9, my mom took me to my first yoga class with her, and it was at an outdoor park. It was a community event with a teacher that taught for everyone in our kind of neighborhood. I lived mainly in the suburbs when I was
Mhm.
younger, just because there was better schools out there. So I feel like we just did like non-heated classes, community classes outdoors, and now we've completely progressed to this studio culture here where studios are left and right every street we walk up. And I
No,
feel like
truly.
beautiful because we're dishing out this medicine to as many people as we can, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Um, but how much of it is like pure is
Yeah.
is the question I'm
No, I get it. I mean, at the same time, it's really great with the fitness, health, wellness boom that's happening, and I love that,
we're
we're
transforming Miami.
yeah, and we're substituting, drinking and drugs and nightlife into health and wellness. But at
Right.
the same time, too, you want to ensure, just like anything, that we're offering, correct services, correct advice, correct, wellness, fitness, whatever it may be. Because yes, it also can get down to where are we practicing the right way in the nicest way to say it?
No,
Yeah.
100%, and there is no right or wrong way, and that's what I love about this surplus of the trajectory of wellness. I think they're trying to make Miami Beach a blue zone now.
I
Uh,
saw that on Instagram.
I know it's
It's
crazy.
yeah, I saw that on, Clean Miami Beach or clean up the I that's amazing.
And I love this direction that we're going because at the end of the day, your well-being is like an indicator of your quality of life, your
Yeah.
longevity of life. And I think that's a great metrics of health overall. Is like, where are we going in the trajectory of like longitudinal studies?
Yeah. It's actually huge. I'm really, really impressed with the things that the city's doing. I think that we're lucky because we have the ability because of our year-round weather and seasons, and that we have access to beaches and water and more ground than maybe some other, industrial or city areas. But I think that it's really cool that a lot of people, as far as citizens and in the government that are kind of jumping on board with this whole restructuring of how we live.
Yeah, and you can see it in the event space as well. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
before there was no event spaces during the day here in Miami,
Yeah,
to be
none.
all at night. And I
Yeah.
feel like mainly for the most part, maybe my feed is completely already changed and evolved, but I feel like all the events now are during the day.
Yeah. No, they really are. And not even that, but there's more event spaces, like you said, for the day that are designed around health and wellness. They don't have different rooms for dance clubs or whatever the hell, or, stripper stages, or, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's for cold plunges, it's for yoga, there's for sculpt, vendors to set up for all their wellness, brands and stuff.
Not just that, look at what you do, like the influence that you've made. It's all these running clubs. Like
Yeah, thanks.
there's so many here.
Yeah, yeah. It's
And it's
insane.
beautiful, and all of them are like a crowd of like
Just
bunch
people
of
wanting to run.
even deeper people wanting
Yeah.
connection.
No kidding. Yeah, that's my favorite thing is just they're craving connection, but at the same time, I think it's funny though because we all have such bad social anxiety because of the fact of how bad we are with connecting these days. So
Yeah.
we're all these awkward people in our heads being like, we're really extroverted, but we're introverted because the world and society has turned us into these socially awkward people, but we want community. You know what I mean? And when you say that to somebody, they look at you like, holy shit, I feel the same way. But, we're just not talking about it enough.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool, like how we all are bringing people together in different realms.
Everyone just wants connection, love,
Hmm.
support.
Yes,
We all just want to be heard.
absolutely, absolutely.
I think going back to that addiction piece, like the psychological side of it, like you and I were in such like training grooves, right? Like you're always training for something. I feel like I have a marathon coming up next year, right? Like stopping just feels like breaking the rhythm. And
Hmm.
then that creates like guilt in me because I feel like I equivalate resting to laziness. But then I'm
But that
just
was
like,
also
no, this is
instilled
a
into our
critical part of the
bodies
progress.
or into our minds. I think it was that, like
Yeah,
resting is laziness. And I think that also comes with a little bit of our generation and maybe from our parents' generation that was kind of passed on to us a bit. I think now as we
totally.
become parents and with Gen Z, that's changed. But I do find, I mean,
Yeah,
because, my mom was raised in a very strict household and, so she was instilled that
yeah,
just you don't have a rot day. Like, what's a rot day? Like that to her to this day is still kind of like weird to think of and she tries to think of it. I think that that's what it is it's kind of been passed down to us so we're like teetering on that.
yeah. I think like the reality check we all need to have is rest days are training days.
Mm. Ooh, wait, girl. Okay, we're gonna trademark that. So if anyone uses that, you got that off of the weekly warm up
I
podcast
said it.
with Drin right here, and it's
Yep,
nobody
right here.
else's
I
right
said it.
here. Yeah,
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 rest days are training days.
yeah. Period.
I
So
love
with
that. I love that.
fitness, do you have a ultimate, I don't want to say end goal, but do you have an ultimate goal that you would really like to achieve or get to as far as your career goes with
Yeah.
it?
So I have a few certifications. I don't have Pilates, so like that's my next goal.
Hmm.
But I think once I have that, I feel pretty well rounded, honestly. Like with running
Yeah.
and then NASM and with training, weightlifting and training. And
Yeah.
Pilates is something that I've grown to slowly love. It's been a slow journey, but
Hmm. Yeah.
I've learned to respect it. I don't know how long I'm going to continue doing it for, right? Like I know I love it, but I don't think it's ever going to be something I do like I just do fitness, right? Like it's always going to be something that I do as a passion. And I think that's what keeps it as a passion. So yeah, I guess to answer that question, I don't know. I don't know if there's like an end per se, but for now, I love building the community. I love bringing people together that like they can come together and realize that like this is such a lovely thing we get to do and share.
Yeah.
I mean, the social and lifestyle benefits alone are just amazing. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
We need to, maybe the goal should be that oh, here goes everything. There we go. There we go.
Here we go. Oh, Walker, we're back.
Are you going to make it? I know
Oh.
you're getting frustrated. This is like
so
his, like,
close.
we're getting there. Okay. Relax. Okay.
He
Great.
says
Thank you
yes.
for asking that question. But no, I was saying is in the new year, because obviously now we're starting to get into the busy times in Q4, and then we have the holidays.
Right. Oh my
But
goodness.
we should plan to do a wellness event here in the new year. That would be so much fun.
See
See ya.
at the Shelbourne.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be so much
we
fun.
need to do this.
Yeah.
I just got so see, like, stuff like this excites me so much. So
Exactly.
I truly don't think I'm gonna give it up, but maybe I do it less. So
Yeah. I will admit that I have social anxiety and I'm getting better at it. That was one thing that I made a point within the last month or so, is that I am no longer going to let my social anxiety, I'm no longer going to let the idea of my busy schedule be the excuse as to why I'm not living my life to the fullest. Attending other wellness events or fitness events. It's easy when you're showing up for your people. It's easy when you're showing up for people you want to support. But when it's outside of that, it's easy to talk yourself out of it. Especially, like I said, if it is not showing up for your people or community, if it's not an event you're hosting, so it's not work related and it's not somebody that you want to support and care about. You can talk yourself out of it, regardless if you purchase something to do and talk yourself out of it, or if it's just going to do something in general. And for me, the social anxiety is that as much as I am outgoing and an extrovert, I am also very much introverted when it comes to who I am and who I want to expend my energy to. I have been burned by lots of people, and that's normal in life. We're all going to have that happen. And if you are sitting there saying that has not happened to me, that's a huge red flag. That's a very big red flag. And we're not going to dive into that, but talk to somebody about that, because you might be the problem. But anyways, and for me, I find that sometimes when I have gone out and been social in certain settings of events or being involved in the community, that it ends up emotionally draining me more, because I find that people will take from that instead of contribute and it be a give take situation, or it could potentially be for a personal gain or whatever it may be. I also find that having social anxiety is quite normal in our generation, because of the fact that we are very much glued and reliant on our screens and our social media and hiding behind screens. We can also basically do anything we want from our own home when it comes to activities and streaming and the endless availability of things that we can do. So we talk ourselves out of human connection. And that's not good, because we really do need the human connection. And that doesn't mean that you need it with a bunch of people and you're overstimulated and then it doesn't work and it actually backfires. And now you're emotionally exhausted from too much stimulation, but simply just interacting with people on your day to day. For me personally, what I have done and what I've gotten better at is, when I am in a setting where there are people around me, I make it a point to start talking to people. I make it a point to introduce myself. I make it a point to interact with them and show them that I am also interested in what they have to say and interested in them introducing themselves to me and learning about another person or learning about something. It really has made me feel a lot better. And I'm also feeling satisfied when it comes to human engagement and being around people. I'm also very thankful that in my career and the multiple different roles that I play, I am very socially active. But at the same time, like I said, you can't make the excuse of I'm socially active because that's part of my career and that's part of my roles, because I'm putting on my my armor of this is business. So I am a different person versus when I'm going out and introducing myself as just me versus business me. And we have to separate those two. I think my favorite thing about the wellness industry is how it's bringing community together, but it also has its highs and lows. I think as far as dating culture goes, it's helped a lot. I think it's great as far as how I've talked about social anxiety and bringing people together because we're craving that human connection. You're going in and you're spending, say, a couple $100 and you're getting all these procedures. But at the same time, is it really geared towards your wellness or is it geared towards the social aspect of it, as in social media? Is it really geared towards just promotion and just filling up a room of hundreds or thousands of people? And are people actually leaving fulfilled? For me personally, I think that there's a size when it comes to wellness, and there's a size when it comes to intimacy that you want to focus on. Because when you start going into the hundreds and the thousands, you're taking away that personable intimacy and you're actually causing anxiety. You're causing stress because you're causing lineups. You're causing people to feel like there's too much going on and they're overwhelmed and overstimulated. And that's typically not the point of wellness. That's typically not the point of hosting wellness events. Be on this level where it's more about who got the most people to an event, who got the most brands to event. Are the brands aligning with what kind of event you're hosting? Are you aligning with what the people want? Are you having people leave and genuinely feeling satisfied for it? Or are you just trying to turn over, meaning, okay, so out of these hundreds of people that came, only 20% are repeats, only 15% are repeats, but the rest, whatever that would be, 80% are new people. So then are you really building a community or are you just building in a one-stop shop or a rotating, I tried it out, it was cool, and on to the next?
I knew I really liked helping people. And my stepmom was like, why don't you look into the therapies like speech, occupational therapy, or physical therapy? So I kind of looked into all three of the therapies, observed people, and I really, really liked speech therapy. Deals with obviously your speech, but also the language that goes into it, swallowing, voice therapy, cognition, really anything from like the lungs up, we can help with. And then not only that, but we can help from 0 to 100 as far as the age goes. So we can help NICU babies, we can help geriatric patient and everyone in between. I really liked that it had a lot of different facets, a lot of different venues, so I wasn't going to be bored with it. So Loyola was a great program for getting my master's there. I started to work with children with autism, and that was very humbling and interesting, and I loved working with that population and those kids. That brought me back actually to Florida. So I spent 7 years up in Baltimore. And
Stewart, baby.
And yeah, then we went back to Stewart.
That was some fun times. Oh man.
We definitely thought we were still in college.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do not regret any of it.
No, of course not. So yeah, so then I started working in the schools. I started working with assistive technology and moved up to Vero, and now I run an academic learning lab at a private school here, helping kids with all different types of, I guess, struggles with anything academic.
The pros and cons with, working with children versus maybe working with older adults or teenagers.
Yes. So working with kids, it's high energy. And so you have to be ready to go, and they feel a lot of your emotions and your energy, right? So feed off of you. So you need to just make sure you're composed, you're patient, understanding, and you got to keep them going because their attention is only so much, and then you got to keep them engaged and make it fun. And that's what I like about that with kids. And even when you see progress in kids, it is the most rewarding thing ever. And being able to work with parents and educate the parents and help coach them through these struggling, difficult times that their kids are struggling with, and being able to be that sounding board, that educator, and that, facilitator is just very rewarding, but it's very hard work. I do like that aspect of working with kids, but you have to have a lot of patience.
Can you give an example of what would be maybe a tool or a little lesson, just for those that might not even know anything about speech pathology, to kind of explain it?
Speech pathology. So, for instance, I can work with kids who have trouble with reading acquisition. So they really need to help with their phonic skills, learning their letter to sound association. Or I can work with a kid who just has a frontal lisp and is speaking with his tongue protruding out the front of his mouth, and he should not be doing that, right? We don't speak that way. So I retrain the tongue to stay behind the teeth when they're producing the S sounds. Or I teach the child, that the A says ah, or it says A, and you teach them all the sounds, and then you use programs to help with systematic instruction, and you build their capacity to retain that information, and they become readers, writers, and they just keep going. And then the speech, hopefully with their S's or any other sounds they're not saying correctly, you teach them to say those sounds correctly, and then they're speaking and they're intelligible. So those are the most typical things we work with kids on, with a typical child. If you're dealing with something more severe, it could be social skills, eye contact, appropriate behaviors, reducing self-injurious behaviors. So that's when you're dealing with a, more severe case of behaviors, language, and social skills.
Your brain rewards movement. Your brain rewards effort. And that's why your motivation is not free. Dopamine is where, think about when we talk about runner's high, that's your body releasing dopamine. When we talk about falling in love, that's your body releasing dopamine. When we talk about achieving something, that is your body releasing dopamine. In the easiest way possible to explain this, dopamine gets released by a part of your brain called the ventral tegmental area. From there, what happens is it talks to the nucleus accumbens. I always mess that up, which is rewarding. That's the rewarding part. And 9 times out of 10, dopamine is being released during a pursuit of some sort of goal or effort or action, not when you finish it. I love that because it's just wild to think that our brain literally loves effort, that it thrives on effort. It thrives on you just trying. We are so backwards when it comes to our brain and how we feel like it is sometimes against us, or that it's too powerful for us, or we can't control our thoughts. We can't control what we do. Literally, our brain is saying, please try, because if you do, and that little effort, I will release dopamine and we can be happy together.